Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about an MSD two-step that I got for the car, what it's for, how to put it on, and how to use it.
Well, I have already put it on actually with the help of my buddy yesterday, but you know what? It's the simplest thing you can ever do to your car. It's very plug and play. What you actually do is you splice into your harness, between the harness and the coil packs, but in a very plug and play manner. Like the kit comes with all these factory connectors, and that's all you do.
So the kit from MSD comes with this box, and there's a bunch of wires there, and that goes into, this is your harness that probably goes into your computer, I don't know. And so you splice that in between the harness and the coil packs here on each bank of the motor. So instead of literally splicing in, you got two connectors, one female, one male, to connect to each of those ends that you're splitting, that you're splicing into. And that goes for each bank. I have the same thing here and there. So if you look at the kit, you have an asymmetrical length of wires, so you can choose to put it on, either side of the front of the car, whether you want it on the left or the right. It also depends on how you're gonna wire it to a switch on the inside of the car, so that might dictate which side of the car you want to install that little box on. So for my purposes, I chose the left. I don't know why, it's the way it is. So what a two-step basically does, because now it's spliced into your coil packs, it cuts the spark when it hits a certain RPM so that you don't go over that RPM. And if you can see, there's two adjustment dials here, one for the 1000 and one for the 100. So you can set it between 1000 and 9000 RPM, depends on what your motor does and how fast your motor spins, basically. Now, in terms of actually securing the box, I didn't want to drill any more into the car. I've drilled so many holes on it already. I just used a couple command strips, and that's sticky enough to keep it secure, and there's a little bit of give there so that it doesn't come off with all the vibrations and all that. So you have two options here. You could wire it into a ground, which is basically any exposed metal on your car, or that's the blue wire, or you could plug it into a 12-volt power source, and I chose to go with the blue wire because it's a lot easier to find an exposed metal bit on your car rather than finding a power source. So to get that blue wire from the engine bay into the cabin, you can either go through the firewall. There's a grommet there where the cable for the hood latch goes in, or you could take advantage of the bad GM quality and just go through the panel gap. So I wired it here, routed it through there, and then that goes into there. I don't know if you can see the blue wire. There it is. So I routed it through there. There's the blue wire. We hit it under that plastic panel, and then that goes all the way down to a bolt on the gas pedal, and that's where you get your ground connection.
Now, in terms of connecting it to some kind of activation, I didn't wire it to like the brake switch like most sensible people. I connected it to an actual physical switch. It's a Knee-Light heavy duty fighter jet switch. So it's just a matter of turning it on when I need to use a two-step. I go bang, 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 and then I turn it off like that. Quick and easy. In the future, I'm probably going to install a line lock and then hook it up to the same switch. So then I don't even have to foot brake my car. I'll just have my foot on the gas, and then when I'm ready to go, turn it off, and off I go. Now let's talk about what a two-step is for. This is not to be used at a parking lot to get attention because you grew up in a big family and nobody paid attention to you at home. This is, I want to say, almost exclusively used for drag racing so that you can control your launch RPM and then you can leave consistently without having to feather the throttle or, thinking about, oh my God, am I going to push through my converter and my brakes and, I bump past the beam and all that stuff. So you set it to an RPM depending on what converter you have. If you have a tight converter, you can set it, like on the Corvette, I set it to 1400 because anything higher than that, I'm going to push through the brakes and the car's just going to start to creep. If you have a higher stall, you can set it to however high you want, provided that you don't lose traction as soon as you let go of the brake pedal. Now, if you don't want to wire it to a physical switch, because I don't know, that's too much work and that's a lot of steps to get into a launch, you can wire it to an actual brake switch. I think it's under there somewhere. And as soon as you get your foot off the brake, that turns off a two-step and you're free to rev it as high as you can, and off you go. But you know what? That's a little too complicated for my limited auto electrical mechanic skills, which I don't have any. So just went with a switch. It's really cool. It's like, ooh, danger to manifold. Let's go. Now the car's on. It's time to show you how it works. So like we talked about before, there's the switch. Turn it on. Danger to manifold. And rev it up. And that's all she wrote. Like I said, it was a very easy modification. You just plug and play, wire to a switch, or wire it to a brake switch. It depends what you want to do with it. I've heard of some people wire it to, I think, the windshield washer button, and also another who wired it to one of those buttons for the garage door. So you can have at it. You can have fun with it. And remember, don't be a douche. Don't rev your car, two-stepping at a car meet at a parking lot somewhere. Most of the time it's a Walmart anyway. Nobody cares. And if you don't drag race, you almost definitely have no business installing a two-step on your car. All right, that's all I have for today. I'll see you later. Bye.